Alright guys, I am back with my review of this week's WWE Friday Night Smackdown for February 1st, 2013. And normally I try to avoid spoilers in the title, but it's Smackdown, so who cares, right? So the big news is Jack Swagger returned on this show. And I have to say, this wasn't really a bad Smackdown. Had some good matches on here. It wasn't like an amazing show, but this wasn't really a bad show at all this week. I thought it was pretty good if you overlook the fact they had so many recaps. I mean, with this Brock Lesnar, Vince McMahon angle, they had a lot of recaps on this show. So if you look past that, this was actually an okay Smackdown. But it starts off, we see Del Rio waiting for the Big Show in the parking lot. He has a pipe. Booker's in the ring with some of the wrestlers, and he says since John Cena has decided to go after the WWE title, he's going to have all the previous world champions compete in the Elimination Chamber for a match at WrestleMania for the world title. And he's got Great Khali. I mean, why not? Let's throw Khali back into another chamber match. Who the hell knows? But he's got Great Khali, Team Hell No, Dolph, Orton, Sheamus, and then Jack Swagger comes out. He looks a little different, but whatever. I mean, it's not much. And he returns, and he tells Booker that he's been watching the show at home, and he doesn't like the direction the WWE is headed, and he wants in the chamber match, even though there's only 6 spots. So Dolph says, you know what, I'm Mr. Money in the Bank, he can have my spot. And Booker says, well, you can chicken out of the Elimination Chamber, but you can't chicken out of your match with Del Rio later tonight. And he tells all the other wrestlers that they're all going to have a match tonight and have to impress him. So the first match is Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara versus Team Hell No. Mysterio beats Daniel Bryan with a 619 and the splash. Kane and Daniel Bryan argue afterwards, possibly teasing a split before Elimination Chamber. I think that would make sense. Go ahead and have them drop the titles to, I don't know, Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. Who really cares? And then have them feud starting at Elimination Chamber. Obviously, Daniel Bryan would be the heel, although they could do a swerve and have Kane turn heel. Stryker goes to see Del Rio in the parking lot. Del Rio tells him he's just getting some fresh air. Leave me alone, okay? Khali versus Jinder Mahal. Khali chops McIntyre off the apron. Heath Slater chases Hornswoggle into the ring. Khali beats Jinder with a Punjabi plunge. Backstage, Booker T and Teddy Long are actually watching this and talking about how impressive Khali is. This was hilarious. And Rhodes Scholars come up and say they have decided to go back to being singles wrestlers. They're disbanding the team, but they're still best friends. And Booker tells Sandow he has a match with Sheamus later. So it's Sheamus versus Sandow. Damn it, I got some in my eye. And Sheamus starts clubbing Sandow in the chest, and the Shield come out. And Sheamus is able to bro kick Seth Rollins, but Ambrose and Roman Reigns start beating him up. He still gets hit with the triple powerbomb. No one comes out to save him. I think the fans were chanting, "Feed me more." Doesn't happen. No Ryback, no Orton. They just lay out Sheamus. Then we get Orton versus Barrett. Barrett goes for the bull hammer on the outside, hits the post, and Orton hits him with the RKO for the win. Backstage, Wade Barrett snaps. He attacks Bo Dallas, beats the shit out of him. And then we get Kofi versus Jack Swagger. Swagger actually looked pretty strong here, I have to say. And this was a good match. As far as Kofi Kingston goes, he's not like a jobber guy. So this is already better than if Jack Swagger came back like Wade Barrett and was beating Yoshitatsu or something. So this is already giving him more momentum to beat someone like Kofi. And he didn't squash him or anything, but he still looked really strong, and it was a good match, but there were a couple of botches. The first time Kofi goes for Trouble in Paradise, it looked like there was a bit of miscommunication there, and then Swagger was supposed to fall through the ropes, and he kind of screwed it up and had to roll on the bottom. Just a few things like that, but Kofi goes for Trouble in Paradise on the outside. He misses, hits the announce table. Swagger rolls him in the ring, makes him tap to the ankle lock. The cops tell Del Rio to leave. We see Big Show arrive in a bus, and he gets out. He looks around. He's all scared. God knows why they try to make this monster, who could be a monster heel, look completely weak all the time, but they do. So he's looking around. He's scared. Del Rio runs up with the pipe, starts smashing this car's windows. They fight on top of the car. Big Show takes a bump on the car, and then Big Show just gets up and takes off running. And he steals a car, I guess. I don't know. He gets into a car and drives off. Backstage, Del Rio tells Ricardo to stay out of the ring tonight. He's got the match with Dolph, and he doesn't want him going out there because Ricardo's still injured. He's got a neck brace, so you instantly know where this is going. Del Rio versus Dolph with AJ and Big E. Del Rio goes for the moonsault. Big E pulls him down, so Del Rio kicks him through the ropes. Big E gets pissed off, tries to get in. The ref kicks him out of the match. And Del Rio wins with an arm breaker in a pretty good match here. Afterwards, Big Show comes on the screen, and he has Ricardo. And he tells Del Rio to stay in the ring. Get back in the ring. And Del Rio does not do this. And this is something I've always wondered about, because you always have these spots where the guy comes on the screen and he's talking to the guy in the ring, and sometimes it takes the guy a while to turn around. It's like when he sees the guy, he knows, okay, we're in the segment. But when the guy's saying his name, sometimes he doesn't hear it. And I've just always wondered, how loud is it for the guy in the ring? Like, are they able to hear that? Because Big Show kept telling him, Del Rio, he finally turned around, he sees his Big Show. Big Show said, get in the ring, get between the ropes, like 3 times. Del Rio never does it, he just looks at him like a moron, and Big Show decides to just continue with the promo. So, I don't know what the hell happened there, but he punches Ricardo in the throat, and Del Rio takes off to the back. He starts yelling for a doctor, and Ricardo's dead. That was it. That was SmackDown. So, yeah, there was some really goofy stuff on this show, but at the same time, Dolph versus Del Rio was a pretty good match. Sheamus versus Sandow was okay until they had the Shield get involved. And Orton versus Barrett, I didn't really care much for that one. And Jack Swagger, I thought, looked pretty impressive here. So, not a bad show for some good matches, but, yeah, 2 hours, and a lot of it was commercials and recaps. But you know what? I'm used to that by now. I'm just saying, this week there were a few good matches on SmackDown. That's all I'm trying to say. So we'll see what happens with Jack Swagger. I don't see much. I mean, I think he's going to go right back to doing what he was doing. Maybe he'll have a little push for a while like Kofi got when Kofi won the Intercontinental title and then lost it to Barrett. And now he does nothing. And R-Truth does nothing. So I think he's going to be one of those guys. He's going to get a push for maybe a couple months, and then that's it. Actually, probably not. He's probably going to get a push up until Elimination Chamber, and that's it. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I like Jack Swagger. I hope they do something with him. I just don't see it happening. So anyways, that's my review of this week's SmackDown. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments, and thanks for watching.